Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the iconic week celebrations of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in New Delhi. Says people-centric governance and continuous effort towards good governance are the hallmarks of his government. Prime Minister launches National Portal for Credit-Linked Government Schemes, Jan Samarth Portal. Also launches a special series of 5 new coins dedicated to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. President Ramnath Kovind addresses joint session of state legislature in Uttar Pradesh. New Delhi rejects Organization of Islamic Cooperation Secretariat's comments on India and termed them unwarranted and narrow-minded. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami announces magisterial probe in Uttarkashi accident that killed 26. Met Office issues yellow alert, warning of heat wave conditions at isolated places in Delhi today. In Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Maharashtra takes lead in the competition with 9 gold medals. Hosts Haryana with 6 gold are in the second position. In hockey, India beat Poland 6-4 in the final to clinch inaugural FIH Hockey 5S Championship in Lausanne in Switzerland. In wrestling, national champion Aman Tehrawat strikes gold at 2022 Bolat Turlikhanov Cup tournament in Almaty, Kazakhstan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that people-centric governance and continuous effort towards good governance are the hallmarks of the last 8 years of his government. Inaugurating the iconic week celebrations of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs today in New Delhi, Mr. Modi said India has taken new steps every day and tried to do new work in the last 8 years. He added the government has speeded up the development of the nation and empowered the poor.
देश में जो जनभागीदारी बढ़ी, उन्होंने देश के विकास को गति दी है, देश के गरीब से गरीब नागरिक को सशक्त किया है। स्वच्छ भारत अभियान ने गरीब को सम्मान से जीने का अवसर दिया। पक्के घर, बिजली, गैस, पानी, मुफ्त इलाज जैसी सुविधाओं ने हमारे गरीब की गरिमा बढ़ाई।
Prime Minister said the scheme of free rations during the corona period freed more than 80 crore countrymen from the fear of hunger. He said nation has suffered a lot due to the previous government-centric governance. Mr. Modi said today India has moved forward with people-centric governance. The Prime Minister emphasized that the youth of the country have been kept at the heart of the government reforms in the last 8 years. He said this will help them to show their potential.
हमें भारत के युवाओं में इनोवेशन और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को लेकर जो जुनून है, उस पर भी बहुत अधिक विश्वास था। देश के नौजवानों में छुपे इस जुनून को रास्ता देने के लिए स्टार्टअप इंडिया का प्लेटफॉर्म दिया गया। आज देश में लगभग 70,000 स्टार्टअप हैं और हर रोज इसमें दर्जनों नए सदस्य जुड़ रहे हैं। साथियों, आज देश जो हासिल कर रहा है, उसमें बहुत बड़ी भूमिका स्वप्रेरणा की है, सबके प्रयास की है। देशवासी आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान से, वोकल फॉर लोकल जैसे अभियानों से भावनात्मक रूप से जुड़ गए हैं।
Mr. Modi asserted that by reducing more than 30,000 compliances, abolishing more than 1,500 laws and decriminalizing several provisions of the Companies Act, the government has ensured that Indian companies not only move ahead but also achieve new heights. Mr. Modi said that the GEM portal has brought in new ease of procurement in government and made selling to the government very easy. He said purchase figure for the portal has crossed 1 lakh crore rupees. Talking about Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Prime Minister said it is not just a celebration of 75 years of independence, but it is also a moment to celebrate, fulfill, pump new vigor into the dreams for an independent India as seen by the freedom fighters. The Prime Minister said a large part of the world expects India to solve problems. This is possible because in the last 8 years, we have trusted the wisdom of the common Indian.
आज दुनिया सिर्फ एक बड़े कंज्यूमर मार्केट के रूप में ही नहीं, बल्कि एक समर्थ गेम चेंजर क्रिएटिव इनोवेटिव इकोसिस्टम के रूप में आशा और अपेक्षाओं से हमारी तरफ आज दुनिया देख रही है। दुनिया के एक बड़े हिस्से को भारत से समस्याओं के समाधान की अपेक्षाएं हैं। ये इसलिए संभव हो पा रहा है क्योंकि बीते 8 सालों में हमने सामान्य भारतीय के विवेक पर भरोसा किया। हमने जनता में ग्रोथ में इंटेलिजेंट पार्टिसिपेंट के रूप में प्रोत्साहित किया। हमें देश की जनता पर पूरा विश्वास रहा है कि जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी सुशासन के लिए लाई जाएगी उसे देश की जनता स्वीकार करेगी और सराहेगी भी।
The Prime Minister also launched the national portal for credit-linked government schemes, Jan Samarth Portal.
आज जन समर्थ पोर्टल लॉन्च किया गया है, वो इसी लक्ष्य के साथ बढ़ाया गया है। अब भारत सरकार की सभी क्रेडिट लिंक स्कीम्स अलग अलग माइक्रो साइटों पर नहीं बल्कि एक ही जगह पर उपलब्ध होगी। ये जन समर्थ पोर्टल छात्रों का, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स का, व्यापारियों, कारोबारियों का, किसानों का जीवन तो आसान बनाएगी ही, उन्हें अपने सपने पूरे करने में भी मदद करेगा।
On the occasion, a special series of 5 new coins dedicated to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav have been launched. These special coins of denominations of 1, 2, 5, 10 and 20 rupees coins are visually impaired friendly. The bankers, government officials and customers have participated in the Ministry of Finance and Department of Company Affairs Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav Iconic Week virtual celebrations in New Delhi from Leh today. Leh is among the 75 districts across the country participating in the Iconic Week celebrations in presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
President Ramnath Kovind has said that Uttar Pradesh is a vibrant example of unity in diversity. Addressing the special joint sitting of Uttar Pradesh legislature organized to mark Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav year in Lucknow today, the President said that the social, cultural, economical and geographical diversity of Uttar Pradesh makes its democracy more strong. Mr. Kovind said he is confident that Uttar Pradesh will soon become a $1 trillion economy. He said the groundbreaking ceremony of Uttar Pradesh Investors Summit in Lucknow was a testimony for the state. President Kovind added that Baba Saheb Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar rightly said the seeds of Indian democracy were not brought from the Western world, but its clear examples are found in the Sanghas of Buddha times. The President said he is delighted to see the current legislature representing various sections of the society.
सामाजिक समावेश की दृष्टि से यह एक अच्छी उपलब्धि है कि वर्तमान विधानमंडल में समाज के विभिन्न वर्गों के प्रतिनिधित्व का दायरा कहीं अधिक व्यापक हुआ है। उत्तर प्रदेश की विधानसभा में महिला सदस्यों की संख्या 47 है, लेकिन इतनी संख्या से संतोष नहीं करना चाहिए। इसी प्रकार कुल 100 सदस्यों वाली उत्तर प्रदेश विधान परिषद के सदस्य वर्तमान 91 सदस्यों में महिलाओं की संख्या केवल 5 है। महिलाओं के प्रतिनिधित्व में वृद्धि की व्यापक संभावनाएं हैं। ये आप सब पर निर्भर करता है कि इस संभावनाओं को हम कैसे तलाशें और कैसे सुधार करें।
New Delhi has categorically rejected Organization of Islamic Cooperation Secretariat's comments on India and termed them unwarranted and narrow-minded. In response to media queries regarding the recent statement by General Secretariat of the OIC, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said, Government of India accords the highest respect to all religions. He said the offensive tweets and comments denigrating a religious personality were made by certain individuals and do not in any matter reflect the views of the government. The spokesman pointed out that strong action has already been taken against these individuals by relevant bodies. He called it regrettable that OIC Secretariat has yet again chosen to make motivated, misleading and mischievous comments. He stressed that this only exposes OIC's divisive agenda being pursued at the behest of vested interests. India urged the OIC Secretariat to stop pursuing its communal approach and show due respect to all faiths and religions.
India today termed as absurd that Pakistan, which is a serial violator of minority rights, is commenting on the treatment of minorities in another nation. In response to media queries regarding tweet by the Pakistani Prime Minister and statement by its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said, Government of India accords the highest respects to all religions. He pointed out that this is quite unlike Pakistan, where fanatics are eulogized and monuments built in their honor. Mr. Bagchi stated that the world has been witness to the systematic persecution of minorities including Hindus, Sikhs, Christians and Ahmadiyas by Pakistan. India called on Pakistan to focus on the safety, security and well-being of its minority communities instead of engaging in alarmist propaganda and attempting to foment communal disharmony in India. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is all set to embark on a 3-day visit to Vietnam from the 8th of June to hand over 12 high-speed guard boats constructed under India's $100 million defence line of credit. During his visit, Rajnath Singh will also hold bilateral talks with his Vietnamese counterpart Phang Vang Hiang to further strengthen defence cooperation between the two nations.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is in Czech Republic today, interacted with the Indian community in Prague. In a tweet, he said, "Good to see many of them doing so well." The External Affairs Minister said the expansion of the community has also been encouraging. Dr. Jaishankar shared with them developments at home and the state of India-Czech Republic bilateral relationship. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has urged the people of Jammu and Kashmir to isolate terror elements to promote peace. The Lieutenant Governor said this at an event organized in connection with the commemoration of World Environment Day at Sher-e-Kashmir International Convention Center in Srinagar yesterday. On the occasion, Manoj Sinha said that Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing another kind of pollution terrorism exported by a neighbouring country and is threatening social harmony.
Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav today visited the Unified Control Command Centre UCCC at the Mumbai Central Railway Station. Divisional Railway Manager of Mumbai Central briefed the Minister about the capital expenditure of the division, operational analytics like HDN, speed analysis, project analysis among others. Mr. Vaishnav appreciated the unique initiative of Indian Railways which encompasses several advanced and state-of-the-art features. He also took stock of progress of Rajkot-Kanalo's doubling project, which will benefit people of the Saurashtra region of Gujarat. Over 194 crore 12 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said over 2,57,000 doses were administered yesterday. The recovery rate is currently at 98.73%. Over 2,700 people recovered in the last 24 hours. Over 4,500 new cases were recorded in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload currently stands at 25,782. 9 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours.
Uttarakhand government has ordered a magisterial inquiry into the Damta road accident on the Yamunotri National Highway that took place yesterday. 26 persons lost their lives and 4 others were injured in the incident. Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan met the driver of the vehicle involved in the accident and inquired about the accident.
ड्राइवर ने जो बताया, क्योंकि ड्राइवर बच गए कि स्टीयरिंग फेल होने के कारण पहले उसने कोशिश की कि पहाड़ से टकरा के गाड़ी रोकने का प्रयास करे, लेकिन टकरा के वो नीचे खाई में गिर गई। 3 मध्य प्रदेश के घायल हैं तीर्थयात्री, उनका इलाज जारी है और कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनकी जान बच जाए। हमने ये भी तय किया कि जो मृतक परिवार है उनको 5 लाख रुपए की मृतकों के परिवारों को राहत की राशि दी जाएगी।
Prime Minister has also expressed pain over the loss of lives of people in an accident in Uttarakhand. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, under the supervision of the state government, the local administration engaged in providing all possible assistance on the spot. The Prime Minister has announced an ex-gratia of 2 lakh rupees each from Prime Minister's National Relief Fund for the next of kin of those who lost their lives in the accident in Uttarakhand. The injured would be given 50,000 rupees each. In Tamil Nadu, 7 girl children drowned in a river in Kuddalore district yesterday afternoon. They were all aged between 12 and 19 and were from the nearby villages of Nellikuppam town in the district. They are reported to have gone for bathing in the check dam across the Kedilam river. As the flow of water began to rapidly rise, the victims drowned as they could not swim. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief over the loss of lives of youngsters by drowning in Kuddalore, Tamil Nadu. He said his thoughts are with the bereaved families.
The Enforcement Directorate, investigating the two separate money laundering cases against former Maharashtra ministers Anil Deshmukh and Nawab Malik, has sought time from the court to find replies on their applications to be allowed to vote in the upcoming Rajya Sabha elections. Court has asked ED to file a reply by tomorrow and has set the next date for hearing for the 8th of June. The Enforcement Directorate today conducted raids against arrested Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain as part of a money laundering investigation being conducted against him. The raids, including that at the residential premises of Mr. Jain in Delhi and certain other locations, are being conducted as part of a follow-up in the case. Mr. Jain was arrested on the 30th of May under the criminal sections of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. He is under the custody of the Enforcement Directorate till the 9th of June.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the iconic week celebrations of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in New Delhi, says people-centric governance and continuous effort towards good governance are the hallmarks of his government. Prime Minister launches National Portal for Credit-Linked Government Schemes, Jan Samarth Portal. Also launches a special series of 5 new coins dedicated to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. President Ramnath Kovind addresses joint session of state legislature in Uttar Pradesh. New Delhi rejects Organization of Islamic Cooperation Secretariat's comments on India and termed them unwarranted and narrow-minded. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami announces magisterial probe in Uttarkashi accident that killed 26. Met Office issues yellow alert, warning of heat wave conditions at isolated places in Delhi today. In Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Maharashtra takes lead in the competition with 9 gold medals. Hosts Haryana with 6 gold are in the second position. In hockey, India beat Poland 6-4 in final to clinch inaugural FIH Hockey 5S Championship in Lausanne in Switzerland. And in wrestling, national champion Aman Sehrawat strikes gold at 2022 Bulat Turlikhanov Cup tournament in Almaty, Kazakhstan. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। इस बार का विषय है इकोनॉमिक्स और सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 8 जून। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
महिलाओं के विकास में भागीदार भारत सरकार। देश में पीएम आवास की 68% मालिक महिलाएं हैं। 35 करोड़ मुद्रा लोन लाभार्थियों में से 23 करोड़ महिलाएं हैं।
देश ने संकल्प लिया है 100% लाभार्थियों तक पहुंचने का।
8 साल सेवा, सुशासन, गरीब कल्याण।
The Indian economy has witnessed revolutionary changes in the journey of the last 8 years of the NDA government. The government has adopted technology and digitization for simplification and transparency in governance and citizen services. The tax system in the country has undergone deep reforms, resulting in an efficient, transparent and corruption-free system. The Modi government transformed the tax assessment process from face-to-face assessment to complete faceless assessment. The faceless assessment is ensuring effective tax administration, minimizing physical interface. More from our correspondent.
The reform of faceless tax assessment has brought India in the elite list of few countries who have adopted such an efficient tax system. The government implemented a faceless assessment scheme in 2020 to remove the human interface between the taxpayer and the income tax department, ensuring corruption-free, painless and seamless tax systems. Simplified tax e-filing and faceless operation of the tax system not only reduced corruption but also increased tax compliance and helped in resolving tax disputes in the shortest worst possible time. A businessman, Vinod Kingar, talking to AR News, said due to the faceless system, he does not feel any difficulty in tax compliance which was faced earlier.
जब से ई-इनवॉइसिंग सिस्टम चालू हुआ है, हमारे लिए बहुत आसानी हो गई है। रिटर्न फाइल करने में कोई भी हम लोगों को दिक्कत नहीं आती है और इसके अलावा जो भी फेसलेस सिस्टम गवर्नमेंट ने चालू किए हैं, उससे हमारे को काफी आसानी होती है और हम इस चीज के लिए मोदी जी और गवर्नमेंट के बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं कि जिन्होंने इस सिस्टम को चालू किया और बिजनेस को इजी बनाया।
The faceless assessment system is ensuring ease of living in the country with the Modi government's mantra of minimum government, maximum good governance. With Sanjay Kumar Singh's report, Varghese PV, AR News, Delhi.
Indian Railways has increased the limit of online booking of tickets through IRCTC website and app. Railway Ministry said it has decided to increase the limit of booking maximum 6 tickets in a month to 12 tickets by a user ID which is not Aadhaar linked. The ministry has also increased the limit of booking maximum 12 tickets in a month to 24 tickets by user ID which is Aadhaar linked.
The ongoing heat wave spell tightened its grip on parts of Delhi yesterday, with the mercury breaching the 45 degrees Celsius mark in 6 localities. The Met Office has issued a yellow alert warning of heat wave conditions at isolated places in Delhi today. The mercury jumped to 47.3 degrees, 7 notches above normal at Mungeshpur, making it the hottest place in the capital. And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Vande Mataram Aarudula Mozhigal Adharavettu Paadi Vande Mataram.
In today's episode, we remember nationalist Annie Mascarene, who was born on the 6th of June 1902 at Trivandrum. Along with Akamma Cherian and Pattam Tanu Pillai, Mascarene was one of the leaders of the movements for independence and integration of the princely states with the Indian Union.
Bharatame bhagyame tan piranna mannu nindedallo ende chorayil aasha bhavamai nee vidarnu nilkayanida.
In February 1938, when the political party Travancore State Congress was formed to establish a responsible government for Travancore, Mascarene became one of the first women to join and was appointed to the working committee. In 1938 and 1939, Mascarene served on the Economic Development Board of the Travancore government. In 1942, Mascarene joined the Quit India movement and 2 years later was elected as secretary of the Travancore State Congress. Her activism led to numerous arrests and imprisonments for various periods during 1939 to 1947.
Mascarene represented the princely state of Travancore and Cochin Union in the Constituent Assembly. In the Assembly, she spoke on the issue of federalism. She was a member of the Travancore Cochin Legislative Assembly between 1948 and 1952, where she served briefly as a minister in charge of health and power. Mascarene was elected to the first Lok Sabha as an independent candidate. She was the first woman from Kerala to have been elected to the Lok Sabha.
Annie Mascarene, who died on the 19th of July 1963, worked for the betterment of people till the very end. AIR News salutes the great nationalist.
We also remember nationalist Hanumantappa Narasimhaya, who was born on the 6th of June 1920 in Hosur, Karnataka. The young Narasimhaya joined the National High School in Bengaluru in 1935. The school became a platform for his interaction with Mahatma Gandhi the very next year when the latter visited it, and young Narasimhaya was the translator for his speech. He became a lifelong Gandhian and was jailed during the Quit India movement for 9 months.
After independence, Narasimhaya joined National College, Bengaluru as a faculty member. He went on to do his PhD in nuclear physics at the Ohio State University, but remained a strong votary of non-violence and peace. After coming back to India, Narasimhaya became the principal of the National College, Basavangudi, in 1961. Later, he became the Vice-Chancellor of Bangalore University in 1972. Narasimhaya believed education and rational thinking were the means to uplift the masses. He started 5 schools and colleges in remote villages of Kolar district.
Narasimhaya was awarded the Padma Bhushan by the Government of India in 1985. He died in 2005 and was cremated at Hosur with state honours. AIR News salutes the great Indian.
We also remember revolutionary freedom fighter Ashok Nandi, who died on the 6th of June 1909. Born in 1888, Nandi was a member of the revolutionary group in Komila, now in Bangladesh. He took an active part in the agitation against the partition of Bengal in 1905. Nandi was arrested in 1908 for complicity in the Alipore bomb case and died while imprisoned in the Presidency jail on the 6th of June 1909. We salute the great martyr. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
On to sports. In Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Maharashtra is taking lead in the competition with 9 gold medals. Hosts Haryana with 6 gold medals are in the second position. Manipur shot to the third place in the medals tally with 6 medals. In hockey, India beat Poland 6-4 in final to clinch the inaugural FIH Hockey 5S Championship in Lausanne in Switzerland yesterday. India ended their campaign with an unbeaten record. Earlier, India first outplayed Malaysia 7-3. And in wrestling, national champion Aman Sehrawat clinched gold medal, while Tokyo 2020 bronze medalist Bajrang Punia settled for bronze of the 2022 Bulat Turlikhanov Cup wrestling tournament in Almaty, Kazakhstan yesterday. With 2 more medals, India concluded the United World Wrestling's ranking series with 11 medals, 6 golds, 1 silver and 4 bronze. 5 of the golds were won by women.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the iconic week celebrations of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in New Delhi. Says people-centric governance and continuous effort towards good governance are the hallmarks of his government. Prime Minister launches national portal for credit-linked government schemes, Jan Samarth Portal. Also launches a special series of 5 new coins dedicated to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. President Ramnath Kovind addresses joint session of state legislature in Uttar Pradesh. New Delhi rejects Organization of Islamic Cooperation Secretariat's comments on India and termed them unwarranted and narrow-minded. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami announces magisterial probe in Uttarkashi accident that killed 26. Met Office issues yellow alert, warning of heatwave conditions at isolated places in Delhi today. In Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Maharashtra takes lead in the competition with 9 gold medals. Hosts Haryana with 6 gold are in the second position. In hockey, India beat Poland 6-4 in the final to clinch the inaugural FIH Hockey 5S Championship in Lausanne in Switzerland. And in wrestling, national champion Aman Sehrawat strikes gold at 2022 Bolat Turlikhanov Cup tournament in Almaty, Kazakhstan. And with that, we end the midday news.